Hey everyone, it's Tuesday Tuesday night. Obviously, pretty average weekend. No car speed, and then obviously what happened on Sunday was was not good either. So excuse the out of breath and the funny voice. Just hopped off the exercise bike and raced here. But yeah, obviously not the best weekend, and having contact with Dave on Sunday was was also not good either. Yeah, try and scrap that one and look forward to the Enduro. Yeah, ask away, ask any questions, good, bad. I'll answer them. I really don't mind either way, whatever the questions are. But everyone who has supported the last couple of rounds, thank you, because it has been tough. When we do win, I know who the real supporters are. Yeah, thanks everyone for staying on board. All right. What we got? Unlucky on the weekend. Enduro's coming up. Which of the tracks that have been good to you before can you see another Bathurst win with a new co-driver? The tracks coming up, I think Sandown should be quite good for us. Our car's struggling in the long loaded corners, so Eastern Creek with high aero and long loaded corners, we're always going to struggle. I think Sandown will be quite good. Bathurst, we proved we're okay last year, and then the Gold Coast should be really good again. Yeah, we have some good rounds coming up. Got Stunt Walker in the background there, just cruising on through. Bought that jumper from America, pretty proud of myself. But yeah, good rounds coming up. We need them. We need to get back on track. Sandown will be I think a good round for us. And Steve Owen, he's the best out there. Pretty lucky that he's in my car, and hopefully we can get it right for him, because the car's not nice to drive. So if we can get it right, give him something good, he'll drive to the front. He's incredible. All right. What made you want to become a V8 driver, and why? Just I guess the fact that the motorsport's a hobby. So in Australia, the only form of motorsport you can do professionally is V8 supercars. They're really cool to drive. It's a good fun series. The tracks are good. The fans are good. The history is good. I love everything about it. Yeah, it's a pretty cool job, and it's everything you dreamed of, and probably a little bit more. Good luck to you and Steve for the Enduro Cup. What is more important, the next three events, winning Bathurst again or taking back the championship lead? I'd love to win Bathurst again, but I really want to win the championship. That's the thing that's killing me inside. I don't just want to take the lead, I want to win it. So if we win Bathurst, I'm sure that'll go a long way to actually getting us the lead back. I think, it's sort of a catch-22. You win one, you get the other. I'd love to win Bathurst, but championship's what I want to get. Just wondering if you have any sort of relationship with the Stones, and do you wish you could have raced for them full-time in the main game? I don't really have much to do with them now. Jimmy was really cool to work with, and when they sold, he sort of went away a little bit, and then Ross was still involved. But when I was at Larco's, I thought that I'd get the call up probably back to Stones, and they chose Courtney instead. With that, went to FPR, and then sort of the rest is history. I don't really have too much to do with them now, but they were great to race for, and I wish I'd have had the opportunity again back. You want to always go back to where you start, but they chose someone else, so then I chose a new home, and that's where I've stayed. Can I buy you a beer? Yeah, you can. I need a beer after the weekend, probably more than one, but anyway, I'll take your offer. Why does it seem other drivers give much more room to the Red Bull drivers, particular Win Cup, than they do FPR drivers? At Queensland with Courtney, I love the overtake in race 2 where he gave Courtney a little boost down the straight. I don't know. I think he's just got this reputation that he's quite aggressive, so people move over. Plus his car's quite good. He's got good straight line speed and good car under brake, so he can put his car in positions that some other people can't. When you've got straight line speed, you can come from your closing speeds a lot quicker. It sort of intimidates the opponent, where if you're just staying stagnant with someone, they have time to block, and they sort of get you over a little bit. What's the best advice anyone has ever given you that you still use today? Um, I don't know. I've had a lot of good people in my life that give you advice, but probably one's, don't give up, always back yourself. You're going to have good and bad weekends. The weekend was evident, but I back myself to go and win Sandown. So that's probably the best advice I've had, and that's the motto I live off. You never write yourself off. Bad luck on the weekend. How does the team rebounce after an incident like this between 10 cars on a bad weekend? Good luck for the championship. We're okay, I guess. Darwin last year was an example of probably a bad situation where you're in a race trying to pass someone, and that happens. That was unavoidable. But on the weekend, Dave was pretty cool about it. He had a little bit of a slide, and I was trying to get a run as well, and it's sort of my run, his slide, and Pie on the outside. It all sort of ended up into each other. So, Dave saw that as a racing incident, I saw that as a racing incident, but, I think without Pie on the outside, we would have went in round the corner together and had a bit of a moment, but got through. But because Pie was on the outside, he collected his front and spat him round. So the end result was bad, and that's the thing you feel for with Dave, because you don't want to see him in the fence. So, it's just one of those things, but I'm sure if you're on the receiving end of it, you'd be disappointed, but it was one of those starts, and just one of those things, unfortunately. Are you annoyed about the pit lane penalty in race 3, considering no footage or anything was looked at, and the Nissan spun GT deliberately? I think the pit lane penalty was pretty harsh, and that's probably what I commented to the team. I thought, if you do the wrong thing and you're deemed guilty, I don't care. You put your hand up and you cop the penalty, and everyone's been getting 25 points. The only 2 pit lane penalties this year are Russell Engel and myself, and it should be looked at after, I think. But you take it. There's no use arguing now because you cop the penalty. But if it was looked at after and you're guilty and you got 25 points, then so be it. But we've got in-car cameras, we've got all this technology. What the TV footage shows, it doesn't show that Reynolds has a wheel spin going around the corner. It doesn't show that there's a car on the outside. Doesn't show all the stuff that happened the corner before. So, I'm disappointed they didn't look at it, because like I said, you took up the penalty, but it should have been reviewed after. But at the same time, I think Bugs has done a good job this year, so I'm not going to criticise him, because I think he's done a pretty good job. When you're doing a hot lap with a fan, do you go 10-10s, and what is the most memorable comment a fan has said after a lap? I try and go pretty hard, actually, but the tyres are normally pretty average by the end, so people hop in expecting you to do a qualifying lap, and then the tyres aren't very good. So, but yeah, always go flat out. So, but in terms of comments, people, it's normally the people that jump in that've got the big chest and they hop in. They think that they're you can't scare them. This will be good. Drive fast, or this sort of stuff, talking it up, and then they scream and just want to jump out. So they're the good ones. But yeah, normally it's high pitched. The blokes put on their diva and start talking high pitched. What do we got? Do you think the media are too critical when FPR have dramas compared to other teams? And if so, do you think it's due to Scape's bias? Our team cop it. We definitely cop it. Factory 14. We representing the brand. So I expect it, but sometimes it's a little bit. The commentators can dictate what goes on. So if a commentator says something, people listen, and they can definitely steer an audience into an opinion, which I don't always think is the best way, but some of the opinions as well forget that they were racers years ago, and I've got videos of all the mistakes that they've made, and they what's the saying, the older you get the better you were, so some do live by that motto. How do you prepare, what are you laughing at? How do you prepare both physically and mentally for an enduro, and is there much different to the other races? The difference, probably the main difference, is the fact that you've got a co-driver and you've got to work together. So that's probably the hardest thing. You've got to work with a co-driver. You've got to really be in sync with each other, and that's different to probably racing on your own, where you have most of the say over everything. You've got control, so you prepare as a team. So a little bit different. Physically, it's actually quite easy. The enduros, you jump in. The two main tracks, Sandown and Bathurst, have got really long straights, so plenty of time to rest. And while the co-driver's driving, it's actually, you sit there and chill out. So it's actually physically easy. It's just mentally tough working with another guy and coming up with the best setup. Do you replace your helmet after a rollover, a heavy impact, or the drivers just like lots of lids to use for different occasions? I've never rolled over, touch wood, but in a big crash, the helmets are pretty good unless you have a massive contact with the roll bar. Yeah, it's not going to have damage. So yeah, it's normally you just change it because either sponsors change, you like different colours, or yeah, it's just for pretty well looking cool. I think we keep changing the helmets. So someone like Chaz this year, I think he's got 6 helmets. So we all love to paint them a little bit different, and 3 weeks time we get sick of that, we put another one on. So we always change. You started off racing 50s. What prompted you to go into karting instead of motocross? Do you still ride dirt bikes? I was not very good on a bike and used to fall off all the time, and it was fun until you get hurt. So yeah, it was just a pretty easy transition. So yeah, got into go-karts and loved it, and a bit safer and was a bit better at it. So yeah, liked it. How much hate and rude messages do you get from other fans, and does it bother you at all? You get a few. When you do things wrong, it's you expect it, but there's some seriously uneducated people that write some stuff on there. So I like the people that come on and write it, because it actually just winds you up a little bit and gets you going. So but yeah, some of the stuff's just silly. And then you meet the people in real life and you understand why they write silly stuff. So you don't take it to heart. But in terms of criticism and stuff, I expect it. I think when we're underperforming, if I was a fan of a team, I'd be on there trying to give them support, but at the same time, question, because I can tell you we're not, qualifying 15th and 17th ain't much fun. So I'm asking the same questions. I'm as frustrated as everyone. So I don't need to read it to feel it. But the supporting ones are good, because when I do win, and I can tell you it's going to happen pretty soon, it makes you feel better that all the good people that support you, they're the true ones, and there's lots of them. So I'm grateful for the great support, and to the couple of haters, I'll spray them with champagne when we get it, and it's always nice. Seems like the wipers couldn't keep up with the rain on Saturday. Do you use any special products to help visibility? Is it hard to see as what the camera makes out? It was horrible. The spray on Saturday was, I've only ever felt dangerous in the car a couple of times. Sandown was one, and on the weekend was the other. Yeah, it was not good. 280k an hour down the straight, you can't see, or you can see this little red light. If someone spins, you're going to hit them in the door at 280. It's not very good. I think the solution is probably to put a better tyre in our cars, because the tyres are crap. The wet tyre is just absolutely got no grip, and so's the tyres in general, really. But the wet tyre, if it had better grip, it would disperse the water better. You'd be safe, you'd have more grip, our cars would look better. So I think the tyre's got a lot to do with it, but it's just my opinion. We've got F1's Daniel Ricciardo listens to heavy metal pre-race to focus and rev up. I've heard other V8 drivers sit in a room alone to focus. What do you do to prepare and focus? Mum still blushes over that cuddle. Well, I'm obviously out there cuddling mums as my preparation, which hasn't worked lately, but it will work. In terms of heavy metal, I don't like that stuff anyway. I'm more a diva, so I listen to me high-pitched stuff, so a bit of dance, get going. But I just normally hang out with Chaz in the truck. Really, we sit down and chat and play games on our phone and just muck around. So it's good having a guy in the truck that you can hang out with. And yeah, he sort of at pre-race he bounces off me, and I sort of we rev each other up. Just a question: do you have a special piece of clothing that you wear on each race day for luck? Love your work in and out of the car. You're a true down-to-earth guy. No, I don't really have anything. I used to have a special pair of jocks, but I wore them from the age of 9 years old, so they don't fit now, so can't wear them. But no, just I've put a pair of boots on. I've worn the same pair of boots for quite a while, but that might be my problem. They might be worn out. Might need a new pair, and yeah, probably boots. Boots are the thing that I get attached to. Do you feel that when can I have a drive with a number 5? You can go for it. If you can set it up better than me, give it back, and that'd be pretty good if you could do that for me. It'd be nice. What's the difference with the cars now in the start of the season? Because the cars seem to be a lot slower, especially in qualifying. There's little differences, but I think the whole field's gone forward. Chaz has been trying different setups, and I've been trying my own way. He's had good success. We've struggled a bit, and we've continued to go down it. I've really wanted to try Chaz's setup. And at Eastern Creek on the weekend, we put his in for Sunday qualifying, and the car's handled different. It's not an excuse. I made a mistake, and it cost me a lot. It cost me about 3/10, which would have put me P6. So I was on a pretty good lap. So the car started to make a bit of sense. And then in the race, the drive-through penalty cost us a lot. But when we're on the hard tyre, we're actually the quickest out of the race with Scott McLaughlin. And then when I put the soft tyres on, it blew. And then we put the reused hards on for the last 10 laps when I got lapped. So obviously our speed looked bad. But when we had the same tyre condition as everyone else, my car was actually quite quick. Then we made a few more changes and then went out on the ride day on Monday. And it's the first time my front end has felt the way I want it to for about 4 rounds. So I actually feel really good now, given it a bad weekend. I actually feel like I've got some direction, so we'll find out anyway. When will Ford be making an announcement on their future in V8s, and will the Ford teams be updating the new model? I'm pretty sure we'll update the new model, but depends on what we run next year. I've got no idea. But in terms of Ford, that's something that the teams are sort of coming up with at the moment. But as drivers, Ford has to be in the sport, so we'll leave it to the bosses, and hopefully it gets done pretty soon. Just wondering, do you collect all of the 1/18 scale models of your race cars? If so, what's your favourite one? Thanks for signing my model Bathurst car last Wednesday at the Grand Prix go-kart night. I collect everyone. I've got everyone, and I collect a helmet from every year. So I put the helmets with the race cars, and then keep one from every year. So yeah, definitely collect them. I love them. Favourite one's probably probably last year's Bathurst one, just because of the meaning behind it. So even though it was the same livery we're running pretty much now, it's definitely the favourite. How does it affect you when the armchair critics out there slam you for what they claim to be dodgy tactics, moves, actions, especially when their comments are posted on social media? Sort of covered it before, but the thing that is frustrating is the fact that everyone knows everything. 1 minute you're too tentative, you need more aggression. Next minute you're too aggressive. Next minute you're stupid. The next minute you're too conservative. The next minute the team's this. There's always something, and you've got to meet these people to understand why they say stuff. And when you meet them, it's pretty clear why they say stuff. So yeah, you sort of just leave it at that. We love you in the V8s here in the USA. Was excited to see all the drivers and races in Austin, Texas. Wonderful family man and father. Love the family posts. How do you balance being hands-on dad and being a race car driver? What is the most important thing you can teach your children? Stay strong. Thanks. That's awesome. Thanks, buddy. We're actually in America the other day and flew on a plane from Vegas to LA and sat next to an American guy who went to Texas and was talking about the race as well. So it's yeah, it's really cool that it's followed so well over there. So yeah, thanks for following. It's hard being a dad. You go away and miss your kids and come home, but thankfully mine come with me to a lot of tracks, and yeah, they're a big part of what you do. So but yeah, you do miss them when you go away for sure. And you know what I teach them, just you know, the good kid. We've got really good kids, which is great, and you try and keep them being well behaved. But yeah, you just teach them to have fun. Really, we live our life with fun and enjoy it, whether you're having good or bad days. And I think the kids see that as well. So they're always happy and always having a good time. How do you stay upbeat when things aren't going well on the weekend? Seeing you at the track, you always seem so happy no matter what the outcome is. Do you vent in private? Yeah, I get pretty grumpy in private, but you know, to be honest, it's you have a bad day, and people come up and want your autograph or something. You've got to be nice. You know, it's great that people support you, and whether it's winning or losing or crashing or whatever happens, when people are lining up and want your autograph or signing shirts or hats and stuff, that's the best thing that's the best compliment. Winning and all those sort of things is great, but when people support you no matter what, that's the coolest thing. And if you can't be happy about that, then you're a pretty average person. So yeah, it's more the people that make you happy. What is the USA like? The USA's good. It was great to race at. It's great to holiday at. It's yeah, it's pretty good over there. So yeah, it'd be nice to race there again. It was really good fun, and hopefully one day we can get back there. This is for Renee. How does she handle the stress of watching you race at the speed you do? She's okay with it. I've got insurance. I've got life insurance, so she's
always done it.
She's okay. But yeah, she said I've always done it, so it's nothing new. It's more when I get on the ladder and try and be a Renault man and get on the roof. That's when she gets a bit nervous. But yeah, cars are what you've done and what you know. You were on Channel 1 early this morning. Can you add the interview onto your page? I'm not sure. You have to tell me what the interview was. I'm not sure what channel what I was on there for, but yeah, I'll have to try and find it, or try and let me know where it was. That'd be good. Thanks for the entertainment and professionalism. I did a hot lap with you yesterday. Thanks again. Frosty, forward to winning 2014. Thanks, mate. See, you knew how good the car felt yesterday, so I'm not lying. You're in there with me. But yeah, I think that was a good day yesterday. I had a lot of fun, and glad you guys enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun yesterday. It was good. How has it been teamed back up with Campbell Little for that round? It was actually really good, and you know, I think our team's really lucky to have you know, Campbell was at the snow, and I rang him Friday night because my engineer Grant has got glandular fever, so he can't talk, and he was half asleep at the table. You know, but being Grant, he didn't want to let you down, so he was there, committed to the weekend. He wasn't feeling good, so then I rang Campbell. Hey Campbell, what are you doing? I'm at the snow. Can you be here tomorrow morning? Sure, mate. I'll see you at 6 a.m. So he rocked up and yeah, engineered me. So really cool to, you know, to come up and work with him again. He's such a smart guy, and he's definitely not. Should be in the sport, you know, so it was great to have him. He did some good changes on the car, did some good calls and stuff, and you know, we had fun together, so yeah, good to have him back actually. What did you think of getting a pic with Joshua Sorty's girlfriend at the kart event last Wednesday night? Bit of payback for Rich. Can Renee give a shout out? Oh dude, seriously. It was it was good. You said you were a massive you know what, stirrer. So it was good to actually have a photo with her, but I'm actually going to have one with yours next time. So I'll send you off to the Portaloo, and I'll have one with yours, and I'll send you a selfie. It'll be pretty nice. Frosty, I'm currently studying mechanical engineering and was wondering what the best way to get into motorsport is for engineers. Um, all our engineers are mechanical engineers, so it's you've studied the right course. But yeah, it's pretty well apply and like any job, apply at the workshop, and we're always looking for a different point of view and an outside opinion. So yeah, put the resume in and try your luck, and yeah, good luck. Can your FPR drivers say go off script and do things spontaneous at the race meets, e.g. just go to the top of the mountain to meet the fans, or has the PR machine got to run on time? I wish we could do all that sort of stuff, but normally a race weekend is I should get a schedule and show you one time what the schedule is, but 7:30 a.m. pit stop practice, 7:45 breakfast, 8 a.m. engineering meeting, 8:30 Blue Oval store signing, 9 a.m. Another meeting, 9:30 qualify, 10 o'clock briefing, 11 o'clock Castrol visit, 12 o'clock Ford visit, V8 supercar signing. All these things, it's ridiculous. So I wish that one day they just said, you know what, you're not going to do anything, go and do what you want, and we come hang out at the top of the hill and yeah, just do what you want really. But unfortunately, it's back to back, and yeah, it's pretty busy. Have you ever been to the South Island of New Zealand, and in particular Timaru down the East Coast? If you ever do, drop me a line and we can have a beer, and I'll take you to do some real gravel roading and farm racing. It sounds pretty cool. But no, never been down there, so I have to get down there one day. They've got a pretty good racetrack, so yeah, love the New Zealand racing, and yeah, I'll get down the gravel road with you. You can show me how to drift and teach me some wet weather driving. Bad luck on the weekend. How come your qualifying pace is lacking but your race pace is competitive to win? Huge fan, can I get a shout out? Hey Jackson, I think the qualifying pace, people, I don't know what it is, but people mask their cars up a little bit with a new tyre. But in the race, when the cars start to go away, we don't drop off. So yeah, I don't really know. Don't know why, but we just need a little bit more turn. I have understeer, but in the race that works for me. So I know why, but yeah, we need to fix it. I'm a die-hard fan. If you have a good car, we always seem to see you whoop ass. How come the last two events you've been struggling while Chaz has been chasing them bulls? Is it in engineering or just the tracks? Because it looks like Red Bulls are catching you, and we don't want to see any bulls ahead of you. Yeah, we've tried a couple of little different setups, and Chaz has tried different setups as well. His has worked, but to change a setup, it sounds silly, but to change from my setup to his setup takes about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to do it properly. So when you're at the racetrack, it's very hard for the engineers to just go, that car's better, I'm going to change it, because you know, somewhere like Queensland, you qualify, and then an hour, then you race, then it's an hour, then you race. So you can't half do a setup, you have to do the whole thing. So finally I got his in and I'm happy, but we can still tune that now, so you sort of start again. So I think we've finally got a bit of direction, but yeah, tracks as well definitely make an impact. Does the Commodore and Volvo have an aero advantage to, say, the Falcon and the Merc? The first two are always battling out for pole, while everyone else seems to lack rear grip. Without getting into a massive aero debate, it's pretty evident, and I'll give you the facts, and then people can work it out for their own opinion. But at turn 1 at Eastern Creek, there was one car that was 1.5 tenths quicker than every other car in the field, and that was the Volvo. It was 1.5 tenths quicker through turn 1. So I can't think that one driver could drive 1.5 tenths better through one corner than 26 other guys. And he got pole position by 0.5 tenth. And if he was 1.5 tenths slower, he would have been about 15th, 12th to 15th on the grid. So massive aero, massive amounts of grip. So, you know, in my opinion, I think there's a difference, but you know, people make their own opinions, and I'm not taking anything away from what he does either, because he's driving well. You know, in the race he did an incredible job, but when one bloke is 1.5 tenths quicker than you through one corner, you have to question a few things. So I think it's worked quite well. Sandown won't matter as much. Bathurst is going to matter. So yeah, you can sort of work out what corners are doing what. Is qualifying on hard tyres in the Enduros better for you guys because you get a few flying laps? Do you feel confident for Sandown given how well Grant set up work last year? I think the thing about Sandown is you get about 8 sets of tyres, so you get a few cracks at green tyres before you qualify. Colder track means you get a few more laps out of the tyres. For us, we do it on lap 2 or 3. Eastern Creek on the weekend was 1 flying lap, so few things are going to come into our advantage at Sandown. So yeah, I think it'll work better for sure. Time will tell. Which is the best driver you have raced against, and who do you enjoy battling with the most? I think on their day and when they're driving at their best, one of the best guys to race has probably been Jason Bright. He can do incredible things with a car. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. But yeah, he does incredible things, and he's really good. Another guy, Russell Ingall on the weekend was probably one of the best blokes I've ever raced. He races you hard. When he's got a car, he absolutely bumps you and pushes you for every piece of room. But when he doesn't, he concedes, and he knows when to fight and when not. And yeah, I had some great battles with him on the weekend, and he was really good to race against. What have we got? We'll do a couple more. What have we got? What do you say to David and Scott Pye after Sunday's race? Well, Dave, I caught up with straight away, and he was really good. He sort of saw it as I saw it. He had a little moment. I bumped him, and I apologised for it and took responsibility for it. And it was one of those things, racing turn 1, lap 1 type thing. And he was good. Scott Pye, I messaged, and he started quite aggressive coming back. So you sort of just let him cool down a bit. Yeah, my priority was Dave. He's the one that I made contact with, and the other car on the outside, Scott Pye, he was obviously angry and blaming me, but he was in a position that lap 1, if you're on the outside, there's probably 50% chance when cars make contact, they're always going to go wide. He was on the outside, and and then instantly, obviously had contact in the fence, and they were angry, but yeah, you do your bit, they come back with whatever, you can't really change that. Probably the one that you really feel for is Steve Johnson. He was angry and had a bit of an outburst, but I like him, got a lot of respect for him, and it's financially a big hit for the team, so I feel for him and the guys that have to fix it. But yeah, just let him cool down a bit, and hopefully when you chat in a few days' time, it's okay. Has Steve Owen done a lot of laps in number 5, and have you teamed with him before? He's actually done a few laps, but at the next test day, the test day is pretty well just going to be for him, so he'll do plenty of laps. I haven't teamed with him, but he's been at our team with Will before, so he's really, really cool, really laid back, and yeah, he's a really, really good guy, so good to work with. Well, we got Luke Lloyd Forrest. Be honest, is racing better than sex? I think it is. Whoa. No, it's not that good.
Be honest.
It's pretty damn good. When you're winning, it's good. When you're crashing, I'd rather be having sex. But anyway, on that note, we might wrap it up. I'm going to come up with something. What can I come up with? I'm going to give away a pair of race gloves tonight, and I'm going to sign them. I might do my 3 questions again. I thought that worked well last time, so I'm going to sign my gloves. I'm going to dig out a race-winning pair from this year. So I'm thinking New Zealand, a pair of New Zealand race-winning gloves, which would be pretty cool. So we'll do 3 again. What have we got? All right, we'll go the Oh, what have we got? Help me out here. All right. I wear a size 10.5 pair of shoes. I can bench press 100 kilos. Or, what do we got? I'm a massive Spurs fan. I go for the San Antonio Spurs. So it's one of those three. Oh, sorry, I'm getting. So if it's the last one that's right, and the middle one that's right, the first one's wrong, say false, true, true, and but that's not the answer potentially. So first one, size shoe 10.5. I can bench press 100 kilos. I go for the San Antonio Spurs. Good luck, guys. Thanks again. I'm sorry for a bad weekend, but I'm confident. I know my team can do it. I know I can win races, and Sandown, hopefully we can do it again. So thanks for the support, guys. Post your answers on this link. Thanks, guys. Cheers.